Hi everyone, welcome to Enjoy English School. I'm Steven.
大家好，我是 Bernice 老师。
Today's day is March 26th. We're on part 2 of Spotlight on Taiwan, Hands on Health.
对，一样呢，我们今天要来讲这个足底按摩，用你的双手来制造奇迹这样的一个台湾的文化。
A Taiwanese foot massage is a great way to stay happy and healthy.
没错，就是在台湾呢，这个脚底按摩呢是一个非常好让大家呢可以保持快乐，还有保持健康的好方法。
Exactly. And today, please refer to pages 56 to 57. And I think the perfect thing to do right now would be giving a lesson and then having a foot massage at the same time.
那我可能没有办法啊。Steven 老师说呢，等一下就找一个人来按一下我们的脚，然后我们这样子来一边的教课，那可能我们的脸部会有抽筋的那个动作。
Oh, I like that kind of pain.
真的啊？
Yeah. You can't handle it?
我有时候会受不了。
All right, let's find out more about foot massages.
好的。
Foot massages are very common all over Taiwan, and there are different techniques to be found in every parlor.
其实这个按摩呢，脚底按摩呢，是其实在台湾是到处都非常非常的普及的，而且呢，甚至你可以在每一家按摩店哦，有时候你走在那个路上看到很多很多不同的按摩店，他们里面的装潢布置都不一样，不是只有这样，他们甚至还有各种各样不同的一些 techniques， 就是一些特殊的技能，你也可以在这些每一家按摩店里面被你找得到。
Right, so here, let's first look at this word massage. I know yesterday we didn't really talk about it, but massage, in this case, the G kind of has like a J sound. Okay, massage, like that. So pay attention to that pronunciation. All right, so they're common all over Taiwan, which means that you can find them everywhere in Taiwan. And you can find different techniques, okay? And the Q here, it has a K sound, okay? Techniques. Okay, there are different techniques to be found in every parlor, so every place is different, right? So let's find out which different types of techniques there are. A foot massage is a soothing activity to end an exhausting day, but it can also make significant contributions to a person's overall wellness.
从这一句我们就可以完全的理解到底脚底按摩有什么神奇的疗效。首先呢，他先讲了脚底这个按摩呢，它其实是一个 soothing， 就是让你痛苦会比较舒缓，你的压力比较舒缓的这样的一个活动。那这个活动呢，是去结束你一整天好累哦 exhausting， 就是你觉得精疲力竭的这样的一整天，你就可以用一个脚底按摩来帮助你结束这一天。可是呢，它不是只有这个疗效，它同时呢还可以让怎么样呢？一个人整体的一个健康，好，这边讲的 wellness 其实就是一个健康的状态，让你整体的一个健康的状态呢，可以有一个非常明显的一个贡献，意思就是说，让你有一个非常重大的对于整体健康做出一个贡献。
Right, so here, soothing could also be comfortable. Okay, so it's a comfortable activity to end a tiring day.
对。
All right, so those are more adjectives you could use instead, but it can also make significant, or here, 老师, you said 中文是什么？
显著的，明显的。
So you could also say make noticeable. Okay, 就可以很明显的一些 contributions. Okay, so they can help in these ways, and it can help a person's overall wellness. There's another word that I want to teach you that I hear a lot, okay, and that is the word well-being. W-E-L-L-B-E-I-N-G. So what is the difference between wellness and well-being? Wellness usually has to do with a person's health, his physical health.
没错。
Okay, but for well-being, that's a person's physical health and his mental health and his emotional health. Okay, so wellness is just physical, and well-being is, everything about your body is your well-being.
所以如果我们在翻中文的话，我们讲 wellness， 我们大部分就是翻成健康，因为它就是跟你的身体上面的这些健康有关。那另外刚才老师讲的那个字呢，它主要是讲福祉。所谓福祉就是说你是身心灵都可以达到一个完美的境界，所以它不是只有指身体上的健康。
And both are very important.
对，两个字都很重要哦。
Some massage parlors are more for relaxation, while others focus more on their customers' health.
在这个句子里面，我们看到了一个 some 配上一个 while others，这个 others 一样就是指其他的什么呢 ？massage parlors 就是这些按摩院。有一些按摩院呢，其实他们提供的服务呢是比较走这种放松路线，就是今天你很累啦，然后按一按，你觉得比较舒缓一点。但是有一些呢，他们主要呢着重的点 focus on。比较着重的是在这个他们顾客上的健康，就是它不是只有让你放松，是真的让你透过足底按摩，然后你变得很健康。
Right, so don't forget the on, that prepositional word is after focus. Okay, focus on something. It's just here we have more in between these two words. Focus more on their customers' health. All right, let's take a short break. Traditionally, it is believed that the nerve endings in the hands and feet are connected to all of the internal organs of the body.
所以同学，人体真的是一个很复杂的一个机器。他说呢，传统上来讲 ，traditionally 这件事情呢，一直被人家相信。什么事情呢？所以前面用的是一个被动式的一个句型，然后再用 that 来说明这样子什么样的事情是被人家相信的，就是呢，我们的 nerve endings， 就是我们人的手足的那个神经的末梢，它会呢在我们的手上跟脚上面，它主要呢都会跟我们全身内部的一些器官，它是互相的 be connected to， 是互相连接在一起的。
Right, and I think one of the things that we talk about a lot, but I want to keep bringing it up, is learning adverbs. Okay, adverbs are very helpful. Not only do they describe verbs, but in situations like in this sentence, starting with an adverb traditionally is a really good way for people when they're reading something or when they're listening to something to know what the setting is. So right away, we know that we're going to be talking about something that is happening traditionally or has happened for a very long time. So that is why it's really important to know how to use adverbs.
因为副词呢，同学在这个所有词性里面呢，它不但可以修饰形容词、动词、副词，它还可以修饰整个子句。所以呢，副词当你如果能够知道怎么样善加的运用它，确实可以让你的这个句子画龙点睛的。
Right, so all these nerve endings that you have in your hands and your feet, that's where the nerves end, right? So then where are those connected to? Well, they're connected to other parts of your body, such as the internal organs. Okay, yes, there are such things as external organs, okay? Because a lot of people don't realize your skin is actually an organ as well. Yes.
对，皮肤也是我们的其中的一个器官。
Yes, so there's a difference between internal organs and external organs.
对，内部跟外部。
Right. In addition, energy is thought to be able to travel between them through qi pathways.
这个 in addition 的意思就是 besides， 此外还有一个要注意的重点就是呢，我们知道这个 energy， 我们人身体产生这个能量，其实被认为呢是能够 be able to， 就是你能够呢，这边的 travel 就是并不是讲旅行了，就是说它这样子气这样跑来跑去哈，它的运行，它是在呢这些什么样的之中呢？就是在我们的这些器官里面在运行。那它运行的一个方式呢，就是透过这个所谓的气血经络pathway， 就是一个路途。一个路径，所以那个气就是我们中文讲的那个气功的气透过这个东西在运行的。
Because the concept of qi is something that is not, it's not something that people in the Western world have. It's not a concept that they have natively. Okay, it is a concept that is from what they consider the East or from Asia. Okay, so that's why we don't have a word for qi. So we automatically use QI to stand for the word qi.
对，就是因为这个语言上面比较西方的话，他们没有这个字，所以他们就直接用我们中文发音念成气，所以它的英文就拼成 QI 这个字。
Right, and because the concept of qi pathways is not something that is official in the Western terminology, that's why we have quotations around qi pathways.
对，没错。
The system based on these ideas is called Reflexology.
那么这样的一个系统呢，就是根据这个所谓气血经络这样的一个系统所建立出来的这样的一个 ideas， 这些概念呢，我们就把它称之为所谓的反射疗法。
Right. So what is a reflex? That is something that if something happens to your body and you have an automatic response, that is a reflex. Okay. So what is OLOGY? When you see ology at the end of a word, it usually means that it is saying a subject of study or a branch of knowledge. So in this situation, it's the branch of knowledge that studies reflexes. Okay?
对，就是跟什么样的学科有关的这个后面的字尾，所以前面就是讲到你这个反射的动作，所以这个字就叫反射疗法。
The feet are like a map of the entire body, and by applying pressure to different points, a massage therapist can identify and heal certain problems.
所以你看这些所谓的按摩师，他们就好像医生一样，他直接可以透过按你的脚就知道你哪边这个不舒服了。因为呢，我们的双脚呢，就像这个所谓的一个地图，那这个地图里面呢，就是你的整个身体啊，比如说这个脚的某一个地方就是对应你身体里面某一个器官。那所以呢，这一些借由施加这个压力在我们脚底的不同的部位上面，那这些按摩师呢就可以马上的辨识出 identify 就是辨识出，并且可以提供一些治疗，尤其是某些问题。
And then 老师刚有讲到脚底。In English, we say at the...We say the bottom of the foot. Okay, the bottom of the foot. 要讲的比较长一点点。
对，就是英文比较长，这个字比较长一点。
Right. And then identify in this sentence, it means to find, right? To find where the problems might be, right? So you could also use another word, pinpoint. Okay, 指出来, right? P-I-N-P-O-I-N-T. Pinpoint and heal certain problems. Okay, let's take a short break.
好的。
In Chinese culture, qi is the source of life and energy.
我们刚刚讲到气这个字，在我们的这个中国文化里面呢，其实它代表的就是一个什么样的 source， 什么样的一个源头，它主要就是我们的生命力，还有呢活力的一个源头。
So earlier we saw qi pathway, right? Because that was like a term. And that's why we had quotation marks around it.
没错。
But this time it's italicized, right? Because it's a word by itself and it's not a native English word. So it's using italicized wording to let us know that this is a word from another country or another language, in this situation from Chinese.
对，就是我们从英文里面外借别的国家的语言的字，那在书写的时候会用这个斜体字。
Right. This qi can be either positive or negative.
可是呢，我们身体里面的气啊，其实呢，它有两种层面 ，either or 就是要不是，要不然就是另外一个啊，表示两者之间其中一个是，它要不然就是 positive 比较正面型的这个气，你的是提供一些正面的能量，要不然呢就是比较负面的。
Right. And then if you notice when I read that, I stopped after qi. This qi can be either positive or negative. This allows the reader or the listener to know that I'm using a word that's not native to English. Okay, so that way they can still, because if they're not familiar with that word, if you just say it matter-of-factly, like this chi can be either positive or negative, they might not be able to digest that word yet. They might, because they're still not familiar with it. So to help the listener sometimes, you really have to understand when you're reading it, when you're saying it out loud, you got to help people understand you. Because it wouldn't help anyone if you read it, matter-of-factly, just 理所当然地, and then nobody understands you. Right? That's
对，所以在像比如说我们听 Stephen 老师在念这些文章，其实就好像在告诉你一个故事，它就是本身就是一种讲解的一个方式了。对。
Yeah, if I read the lesson, like, this she can be either positive or negative. Like, nobody's going to understand me, right? I'll be wasting my time. I'll be wasting your time. Okay. And then here, the word either, a lot of people might say either.
Yeah.
Both of these are acceptable. It depends on what you want to say. Okay. The goal of reflexology is to detect problems while harmful energy is still at a slight level before it develops into a physical problem.
那为什么我们会有这样的一个按摩脚底来刺激你脚底的这种反射疗法？其实它的目标就是为了要来 detect， 就是侦测出来，侦出来一些问题哈。While 就是当这些问题呢，现在呢 harmful 就是可能有一些有害的能量在我们的身体里面。那可是现在这个能量呢，目前呢还是在一个比较轻微的 slight， 就是比较轻微的这样的一个 level， 在什么样的 level 上？介系词我们用 at， 尤其是在你这样的一个有害的能量呢，它发展成为真正我们身体上实质的问题之前，我们要先侦测出来。
Right, it's really important to detect or pinpoint a problem before it gets worse. Okay, so when it's still slight, that means that there is still hope.
对
Right? And then when we see the word harmful, the opposite of that would be harmless. Harmless, which means that this thing
无害的
won't hurt you. That's
对
right. Okay, this way, illnesses can be prevented.
就是利用透过这样的反射疗法去侦测出你的可能身体上有什么样的一些状况的这个方式呢，那么你的一些疾病呢就可以被预防了。
Yeah, you can also say can be avoided. Okay, 被避开，避免。
被避免掉。
Avoid is A-V-O-I-D. Okay. Taiwan has some of the best massage parlors in the world.
在我们台湾呢，就拥有这一些最好的、最棒的这些按摩店，在全世界我们就拥有其中的几间了。
Right, so this phrase is actually very humble and modest. It's not saying that we have the best massage parlors in the world. We have some of the best massage parlors in the world. See, so one word can change the whole meaning of a sentence.
没错，就是用到这个 some， 感觉我们要保持我们中国人的传统习俗，谦卑，对不对的美德，所以就说我们有一些这样的店而不是全世界最棒的按摩店都在我们的台湾。
对，但我觉得这个是一个很重要的点，因为有些人可能他很想谦卑，可是可能对于语言的那个能力还是了解还没有到足够，所以可能他讲的方式，他可能说Taiwan has the best parlors in the world，那被人家听到，他可能想谦虚，可是被人家听到觉得怎么那么的嚣张之类的，所以it's really important to kind of pay attention to how you say things, right?
没错
It can be the tone of your voice, it can be your wording. There are a lot of different ways to convey the same messages.
对
So when you feel worn out after a long day and need a way to take the load off, try a foot massage from a specialist.
所以呢，当你今天觉得哇好累好累哦，这个 worn out 的意思其实就是刚才前面那个字，我们把它改成形容词 exhausted，exhausted，就是表示你很累很累了，然后尤其是在一整天一整个长过了一天的时候呢，而且你也需要一个方法，赶快的把你身上的一些重担给卸下来 ，take something off， 要把它卸下来的时候呢，那你就可以试试呢去做一点这个脚底的按摩，因为呢这个脚底按摩真的可以让你这个疏解一些压力，尤其是你要透过的是专业师傅的脚底按摩。
Right, so when you feel worn out, you can also use the be verb to go with that. Okay, I am worn out. That's also acceptable as well. All right, and these are words that we say often in English. I will say to you after a long day of work, you might say, how are you? I will tell you I'm very tired. Or I will say I'm exhausted. Or I will say I am worn out. Okay, these are very common in everyday English. Okay, so to take the load off means to take off the pressure that you have, take out the stress, to make yourself relax is take the load off. It means load off your shoulders.
没错，从那个肩膀上面的一些重担压力把它卸下来。
Right, and a specialist is someone who devotes a lot of their time on a particular subject or activity. In this situation, a foot massage therapist is a specialist when it comes to massaging the feet.
没错。
It's definitely a great way to relax.
就是讲这个脚底按摩呢，绝对呢是一个相当棒的一个方式，可以让你来好好放松一下的。
Yes, I actually really want to get a foot massage later. Okay, let's go to the review.
好的。
All right, Bernice 老师, what is a technique?
讲到特别专门的技巧。
All right, and if something is soothing, what does that mean?
好放松，好舒缓哦。
What if it's exhausting?
刚好相反，累死人了。
And also worn out, I feel worn out.
对，两个可以互相的这个交换使用。
Okay, and worn out usually can talk about yourself. Usually it has to talk about a person. Okay, all right, and what is a significant contribution?
我们讲到很明显的一些贡献。
Okay, and what's the difference between wellness and well-being?
Wellness 主要是讲健康，那么 well-being 呢是指我们的身心灵都可以达到很好的一个境界。
Yes, and what is an internal organ?
讲到我们内部的一些器官
Or external organ?
外在的一些器官
Okay, and what is reflexology?
叫做反射疗法。
Yes, and we have to try to detect problems.
就是可以用你的双手，有没有？这些脚底按摩是用双手来侦测你有什么问题。
Yes, okay, and then we get massages because we want to take the load off our shoulders.
没错，为什么要去做按摩呢？可以让你身上的这些重担可以卸下来。
Okay, and a foot massage therapist is also a specialist.
没错，他们都是专家等级的哦。
All right, I'm gonna go get a foot massage later.
好，他约好了。
Okay, we'll see you guys next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
第56页，深入台湾，妙手回春的传统技艺。
Hands-on health. Foot massages are very common all over Taiwan, and there are different techniques to be found in every parlor. A foot massage is a soothing activity to end an exhausting day, but it can also make significant contributions to a person's overall wellness. Some massage parlors are more for relaxation, while others focus more on their customers' health. Traditionally, it is believed that the nerve endings in the hands and feet are connected to all of the internal organs of the body. In addition, energy is thought to be able to travel between them through qi pathways. The system based on these ideas is called reflexology. The feet are like a map of the entire body, and by applying pressure to different points, a massage therapist can identify and heal certain problems. In Chinese culture, qi is the source of life and energy. This qi can be either positive or negative. The goal of reflexology is to detect problems while harmful energy is still at a slight level before it develops into a physical problem. This way, illnesses can be prevented. Taiwan has some of the best massage parlors in the world. So, when you feel worn out after a long day and need a way to take the load off, try a foot massage from a specialist. It's definitely a great way to relax.